This is a Willets Point Shea Stadium bound 7 express train. The next and last stop is Willets Point, Shea Stadium.
CP, it's time. We got to talk about this series coming up with the Seattle Mariners, a big 3-game set for the New York Mets. And I got to go back to some of the things Hector said, blunt thoughts. He said that he really feels that the Mets will win 2 here. Thinks Quintana and Sevy will give us solid starts. Have a feeling we lose the Manaea start. Out of all the starts, it's the Manaea start we lose after everything that has been said in this podcast, after everything that CP poured his heart into about Manaea. We lose the Manaea start. Or we're just messing around with you. But yeah, Hector, man, if they can win 2 here, they go 6-4. That's what I said at the start that I wanted. I wanted 6-4 from this team. And you look at the starting the pitching probables here. You got Jose Quintana 6-7 with a 3.95 ERA, going against Brad Miller 8-7 with a 3.62 ERA. Game 2 on Saturday, you got Shea Manaea 8-4 with a 3.30 ERA, going against Logan Gilbert 6-8 with a 3.05 ERA. And then you have on Sunday, which I think is a Sunday night, an ESPN Sunday night baseball game, Luis Severino, 7-5 with a 4.06 ERA, going against Luis Castillo, 9-11 with a 3.48 ERA. Before I ask you which matchup you're looking forward to the most, I'm going to say this. Do not let these records deceive you from the Seattle Mariners, these three from the starting staff. This is a very good starting rotation, probably one of my favorites in the league. So, CP, man, which matchup are you looking forward to the most? I'm not really a Quintana guy, and I know that Carson isn't either. He feels like he puts him to sleep. But between Manaea and Gilbert and Sevy versus Castillo, that's a good two matchup right there.
Manaea Gilbert, I think if I had to pick one matchup, would be the one. Logan Gilbert is a stud. We all know Logan Gilbert's a stud. A lot of Mets fans at some point were wondering if the Seattle Mariners would let go of Logan Gilbert for Jeff McNeil. I saw a lot of those trade proposal comparisons come to fruition. Listen, Logan Gilbert's an awesome pitcher, and so is the rest of this Seattle Mariners staff. This rotation presumably has been keeping them in ball games because their offense is not quite up to par. They got Randy Arozarena. They got Justin Turner. I understand the other firepower weapons that they have in their lineup, but all in all, their pitching has outperformed their offense in their, I believe, 59-56 record. So the New York Mets lineup is going to have a tall task. My favorite matchup is definitely Logan Gilbert versus Sean Manaea, but also, is that really kind of a biased take from me? I mean, like, I'm a very big Luis Severino fan, don't get me wrong, but what Sean Manaea has done in the past couple of outings, I'm very confident in him. We mentioned the mechanics issue that he's tweaked, and I say it's an issue because when you are not closing yourself off to the batter like he is right now, a la Chris Sale, then you run into some issues, right? If you pull too far off of your pitch, that's going to make the pitch sail wherever, whether inside or outside. But when you close yourself off, like Sean Manaea is doing right now, he's throwing a lot more strikes. So I'm very confident in Sean Manaea moving forward. And it seems like combined with the mechanics tweaks that he's making right now, and also the pitching lab, just like velocity that he gained in this offseason, he just seems like a pitcher that was on the hunt for his next contract even before this season began, which he will get, by the way. Like I said, if I understated this fact, he will opt out of his deal, go into free agency, and either get it back from the Mets or get it back from somebody else because he's earned it so far this season. But Logan Gilbert versus Sean Manaea should be on everybody's calendar above all else. The Seattle Mariners, their offense, I don't want to say it's anemic. They have a lot of talent in their lineup, but their starting rotation, their pitching is the main draw of their organization right now. This should be a fantastic series. All eyes, as they were in this Rockies series, are on the New York Mets lineup right now, 1 through 9. It really is. It really is, Ian.
Yeah. I'm definitely in line with Carson here. Quintana at 10 p.m. Caffeine overdose will be needed. I am going to need a pick-me-up at 10 p.m. to watch that Quintana start. I mean, that is going to be... I can't stand West Coast trips just because I got to stay up until... There's nothing worse than a West Coast trip and then losing a game on a West Coast trip and having to go to bed after that. So, I hope that the Mets can, get 1 or 2 of these games for sure. Definitely need to get at least 1 to go 5-5. But yeah, Quintana, woo-wee. That last start against the Angels, man, that was a snooze fest. That definitely for me, and I know for Carson as well. Daniel Cap saying Miller's ERA at home 2.27, which means the Mets will probably crush him. That's how it usually goes with the Mets. They can't hit guys that have ERAs over 5, but they can hit Cy Young Award winners. That's for sure.
Facts.
We'll see what
Big
happens this entire series.